Not every game is destined for worldwide financial success and critical acclaim. For every Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft, or Zelda, there are 50 Daikatanas, Duke Nukem Forevers, and ETs. Well, maybe not that bad. However, every now and again, the finances, or lack thereof, don't really reflect the quality of some games, leading to cult classics that will live on in the hearts and minds of gamers forever. Now, while today's subject of discussion isn't quite on the same level as those Goliaths of nostalgia, it is a game that has burrowed itself into the hearts and minds of a few select gamers, including yours truly, when it left us 2 years ago this month. And that game is Bosky Productions' Radical Heights.
Hello, audience! Are you ready for another exciting round of America's #1 game show? Then let's get this thing started!
From the mind of the legendary Cliff Bleszinski, Radical Heights was released in April of 2018 in what was coined Extreme Early Access. Radical Heights was a battle royale in the same vein as Fortnite or PUBG, but with much more of a personality than those two, I'd say. While PUBG specialized in a realistic style of gameplay, and Fortnite focused on mass appeal and shitty dance moves, Radical Heights rolled out the retro 80s vibe full of neon, mullets, and flannel. It may be hard to describe what was so special about this game to those of you who never played it, especially considering upon first viewing, Radical Heights looks like a mid-budget N64 game, with its cardboard cutout buildings, non-existent textures, and Ken and Barbie character models. But to really enjoy this game, you gotta look past the graphics and focus on the charming art style and the gameplay. I'm a big fan of retro aesthetics, particularly the 1980s, and its style of an 80s game show featuring a cheesy announcer did wonders. Seeing buy stations titled Top Guns, being chastised by the vending machine,
Negative, Ghost Rider.
hearing knockoff Kenny Loggins' Danger Zone, I just simply loved it. While the 100-player Battle Royale Last Man Standing concept was by no means new at this time, Radical Heights did some things differently that gave the game its own flavor, and some of the aspects have been taken and used in new releases. For starters, instead of an ever-enclosing circle with toxic gas, a grid system was used, similar to how the students in the 2000 film Battle Royale had to deal with. Players would collect cash by either destroying cash registers or killing other players and taking their money. Vending machines were located across the map where players could spend their money on expensive weapons and gear to increase their chances at winning. You could also deposit or withdraw earned money at the ATMs, levying a risk versus reward system. You could also sell back extra weapons that you had found during the game to the vending machines for some extra money if you needed it. The weapons used are your standard fare: handgun, shotgun, submachine gun, AR, sniper rifle. Rarity of the guns are separated by color distinction, but a few extra gadgets and gizmos like the trampoline are added to your inventory to give you an advantage. Now that you got a gist of what this game was about, how did it fare when it released? Well,
Radical Heights is a mess of half-baked ideas that never managed to come together.
It was just a shameless cash grab to try and ride that wave of success that PUBG and then Fortnite created.
People don't want to deal with the game. It's just an obvious, desperate attempt to cash in on the Battle Royale genre.
Radical Heights brings absolutely nothing new or positive to the Battle Royale genre.
yeah, on a whole, this game was not well received by the media or gamers, and the negative reception, alongside Bosky Productions' financial struggles due to the massive flop that was Lawbreakers, all but ensured Radical Heights' demise. When the game launched in April of 2018, it peaked out at a bit over 12,000 players, but the player count tanked by over 80% only a month later, and on May 14th, Cliffy B announced on Twitter that Bosky Productions had been shut down. Since early summer of 2018, the servers are no longer active and the game is unplayable in its current state. Radical Heights never had a rise, but in my opinion, for the month that this game was up and running, it was an excellent diversion from the PUBGs, H1Z1s, and Fortnites of the world. I believe that back then, and my opinion has never changed, Radical Heights was given a bad rap. Radical Heights was not a perfect game, but I truly believe that if it was given a chance to get better, it could have been a solid multiplayer experience for a core group of fans for years. I played Fortnite back when it released, and I could have never imagined the future that it held, but in the beginning, Fortnite was nowhere near what it could have been and what it ended up becoming. Fortnite was given a chance to improve, grow, and Radical Heights was never given that opportunity, and honestly, if you ask me what I would rather play right now, I'd rather play Radical Heights over Fortnite or H1Z1 any day of the week. The criticism levied at this game from mainstream media outlets I always felt was off. They said this game didn't bring anything new to the genre, even though it completely changed how the closing zone operated, and added in the phenomenal idea of buy stations, which has since been stolen by Warzone. They said the graphics were bad, which they were, but the art style and vibe had way more personality than any other Battle Royale game at the time, and at least they included another color besides brown. They said the announcer in the 1980s references were annoying. Dude, just fuck you. They said the gunplay was boring, which I honestly just don't see how you gather that unless you were trash and got mopped by everybody you fought. But the weirdest criticism was that people said it was nothing more than a cash grab. How is it a cash grab when it's free and doesn't offer any pay-to-win elements? We live in an era where shit games make loads of money and are allowed to exist. No Man's Sky, Diablo 3, Madden, Sea of Thieves, The Division, I would argue all of those games are way worse than Radical Heights, but they weren't crucified on the same level, and I don't think that's fair. Those games were allowed to exist and carry on even after we found out how horrible they were because of all the money that their companies had. At the end of the day, Boss Key Productions' financial woes due to lawbreakers had them on borrowed time to begin with. It always comes down to money, and that's why no matter how awful Madden is, there's always going to be another one. I will never delete Radical Heights from my computer out of respect, and while it only lasted a month, I love the time I spent in Radical Heights, however short it may have been. Well, that's it. End of story, right? I thought so too, until a recent discovery on Reddit. Thanks to Liam Kurt, the dream of Radical Heights may still be alive. This absolute animal is working to remake the game so that all of us who love the original may be able to return back to the battlefield and once again hear the sweet tunes of Joe Esposito upon victory. From what I gather, Liam Kurt is the only person working on the remake, and who knows how long it'll take him to be finished, but regardless, this is a man who deserves the utmost support from the community. I reached out to Liam Kurt to ask him, why is he doing this? He responded and told me that he simply just loved the game and even cried at the news of the server shutdown. In my brief conversation with Liam Kurt, I could feel his passion burning for this game, and many people might not have even given a second glance. I honestly find it amazing, and I hope for the best for him and the project. Go to Radical Heights on Reddit, join the Discord server, and let's help our savior Liam Kurt and bring this game back from the grave together. I hope to see you all there.